Hey, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Don, and today's video is going to be about post-MSW fellowships. So I am going to explain what a post-MSW fellowship is, the eligibility requirements, and how to apply, as well as where to find post-MSW fellowships. Please be sure to watch the video until the end because there's going to be vital information that you don't want to miss throughout the video, and it's helpful for the channel. So to begin, a post-MSW fellowship is advanced training in a specific area upon graduating with your Master of Social Work. So this is not another degree. This is not you taking additional classes in most cases. This is you utilizing the skills that you've learned from your field placement or your internship, as well as your classes, to succeed and to grow as a early career professional, early career social worker in a field of social work. Now, typically, post-MSW fellowships are to help a person gain experience and education through hands-on learning with a specific population. So if you are interested in working with people who are impacted by, neurocognitive disorders, then you could apply for a post-MSW fellowship at a hospital that may offer a post-MSW fellowship with their neurocognitive disorders wing of the hospital. That's just one of many examples. So who is eligible and who is a great fit? So typically post-MSW fellowships are geared for the professional who is fresh out of grad school, typically early career persons, but I do believe that you can use a fellowship to transition into a particular field of practice as well. So if you are someone who's been working in the field for a while, and maybe you worked in mental health social work for a while and you'd like to transition to policy or healthcare, then you can apply to a post-MSW fellowship that will give you additional training, allow you to build connections and prove yourself in this field. And then when you apply for the job, then you have references from healthcare social workers and you have that experience. And so that could be really helpful for you when you are applying for new jobs. Now, again, typically it's for persons who are relatively fresh out of grad school. So you would typically apply your last semester, probably, that spring semester that you're graduating, you can apply. Deadlines usually range between February and May, and typically you have to submit your field placement evaluations from your field placement supervisor, and you may or may not have to list references as well. And so the person who is, eligible is typically a person who has graduated from an accredited MSW program, but also, which is one of the key components that I didn't realize when I applied to one, is that you need your master's license before you can begin the program, typically, unless it is a policy fellowship or macro fellowship. If it's a micro fellowship, a micro post MSW fellowship, then you need your master's license prior to the start date. So it is helpful and it does make you more competitive if you could sit for your clinical exam a few months before you begin the program. That way you can mention that you know, are scheduled to sit for the exam, or even better, you can take the exam and pass it beforehand so you can be licensed. But also, it's important to be licensed in that state. So when you take your exam, you may want to take the exam in that state that you're interested in, particularly your top program, or you can let them know that you are licensed in your state and that you are more than willing to transfer it to that state. Of course, in addition to that, they're going to want to see your transcripts. They're going to want to make sure that you graduated, and then some require formal letters of recommendation. So you will submit that as well, and then you may be required to complete an interview as part of the process, and so that is pretty fun. So now that we know, what a post MSW fellowship is, who's eligible, who's ideal for it, and all of that, we can kind of go into where you can find these fellowships and what and how to apply. And so basically you can find them through Google. So if you simply Google post MSW fellowships, you will find an array of fellowships. Some institutions list them. I will put that in the description box below. So please be sure to always read my description boxes, because I always try to provide information for you all and provide additional resources there for you. So be sure to look there. But if you do a Google search, you should be able to find it. You can always tailor it to your interests and complete it as well. And then that is going to allow you to apply, and they'll show you how to apply, because then you know the website and they provide the specific steps and things of that nature. But it's most important to know where to look. And so if you Google it, you should be just fine. But also within that, you can be specific in your search, or as you're reading through, you can see, okay, if you want a fellowship in healthcare, you can add that to your search. If you want one in policy, you can add that to your search. If you want one in mental health, you can add that into your search, especially if there's a specific range of mental health ones. And so that is that on that. So a few examples for you to look up. Yale University has a post MSW fellowship. So if you Google, Yale University post MSW fellowship, then you can learn all about that for those who may be interested in advanced training. And I believe theirs is psychiatric and community mental health, as well as pediatrics. So you can always look there to receive that additional training. And then you can also Google other universities like the Ohio State University, I believe one of the University of California schools, I think maybe UC Berkeley. But again, you can Google. The VA has one. I only know that because Stephanie, she shared her recent experience. If you are not following her on Instagram, she is I'll put her name here, but she's a great person to follow. And she's recently transitioned as of February 2021 to healthcare social work system. So kudos to her. Amazing. So to conclude, you should know that post-MSW fellowships are competitive. This is not something that you should just go on a whim and think, oh, I'm just going to apply and I'm going to get it. No, you need to put your best foot forward. The other thing that I did not mention that I should mention is that post-MSW fellowships are paid. So they are paid. I know that's a huge question. Now, the salary range is or can be lower than perhaps your first position out of graduate school, but I still would encourage you to do it, especially if you want to break into a specific field of social work. A post MSW fellowship can really prepare you and make you a desirable candidate for those roles and give you that additional experience that you may not have been able to receive on the internship level, or maybe there aren't jobs available in that exact moment. I know when I was interested in oncology social work, there were no available positions open at that time, and so I pursued a career in integrated care, and that's actually how I became a mental health therapist and have been one ever since, because the opportunity just wasn't there at the time. So a fellowship can in some ways create that opportunity, because it's not uncommon for a fellow to be hired on post completion of that fellowship. Every fellowship is different. I should also mention like the components of your training. So the components of your training within the post MSW fellowship includes there is a practice component to where like you're learning specific skills for it. You're learning different approaches that's evidence-based. Then there is a research component, or what's called an academic component. And that is where you are reading scholarly articles and you are attending grand rounds and things of that nature. You're attending case studies and things of that nature to learn from other professionals. But also within the research component or the academic component, you are charged with having a scholarly article. So you have a scholarly project where you complete an independent research project and you present it at that institution's conference or summit or something of that nature. But also at many places, like if you're working at an academic hospital, they will require you to submit that for publication. So if you are someone like me who maybe are looking for alternative routes for gaining research experience without getting a second master's, then this would be a great route for you to go, because there isn't that academic component. So that is it. You should know that if you decide to pursue it, it does include benefit. You would receive the same benefits as an employee, so insurance, dental, vision, health. You will have paid time off, you'll receive a salary, all of those good things. So I hope that's something that you will consider. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment in the comment section below. What have you heard about post-MSW fellowships? Let me know if this is your first time hearing about it, or if you are part of one or know of additional ones, comment in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and until I see you next time, be you, be great.